Hi guys, David here, hope you're well, and welcome back to another video. This one, depending on which channel you're watching it on, is going to show you how to edit a video. I'm by no means a video editing expert, but I do have a fairly quick and easy way of doing it. That's really what this video is all about. It's trying to give you guys some little hints and tips to do this yourself if that's something you want to do. Any bits that I've used, I'll leave a link to in the description, so any little additional bits that I have that you wouldn't make yourself, I've put in there, so you'll see them. But yeah, if you do like this one, let me know what you think. Likes always appreciated as always. I'm sure there'll be plenty of other people out here wanting to make the step that I've elected to do and actually make content on YouTube and things like that. This would be a very good place to start, I like to think. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Obviously, if there is other how-to ones, you can tell me in the comments, and I can look at doing those. But primarily, obviously, this will either be racing content or it will be Football Manager content, and that entirely depends on which channel you're watching this on. I'm going to leave a link to the other one up there now. So if you can go and check those ones out, that'd be much appreciated. I keep them separate because I don't want to saturate by putting too much different content onto one channel. But yeah, this one is going to be all about editing stuff. So without any further ado, let's get into it. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Alright then guys, let's get stuck into this then. So before I go into what I use to edit my videos, the first thing I want you guys to see is to show you what I actually use to record my videos. This is probably the same for a lot of people, and if you're not using this, this is probably going to be your best place to start because it's very, very versatile, and what you can get it to do is I use something called Streamlabs Obs Studios. That's what's on the screen at the moment. It is completely free. It's bloody brilliant. It's open source. You can get all sorts of different stuff on here. It's used for streaming, and you can use it for recording as well. I used it for streaming initially and then realized there's actually a really clever thing that allows me to use it for recording as well, which is absolutely fantastic because it really helps obviously with generating content and things like that. To record a video, literally click this record button that's flashing red at the moment. That just starts recording the video. It will already save it into your video files on your computer when you're ready, or when you stop clicking record. You can also click spacebar and that does it as well. So it's quite good at doing those sorts of things. But you can change that in the settings bar, this little cog at the bottom. You can change where the video output goes if you've got somewhere that you prefer to do it instead. For me, the videos all works fine, and then I shift them around in a later date, which I'll try and show you guys in a sec. But I am on OBS at the moment. As you can see, I've got a load of different what we call scenes in here. They're basically just a different screen that comes up. So you'll see in a minute, I'll click on my Football Manager one and you'll see a different screen layout and stuff like that to what's on at the moment. So it kind of moves around things quite nicely. But on here, I've got video capture, which is me, which is a picture of me. So you see me over here. Audio input, which is the sound if I'm playing a racing game, for example. Obviously, Football Manager, not an issue because there's no real sound in it. And audio output capture is obviously me, and you can probably just about see quite a bit of green appearing over there where it's actually picking up my microphone. So very good at that. So yeah, what I do, and then the other one obviously is the window capture. I use this one for my racing stuff because I use remote play on my PS4 to cast onto this so I can record it. Otherwise, I'd have to do it directly to YouTube, download it, and it'd be very painful, and I'd have to match together the webcam, so it's easy to do it that way. In order to change this, you can see I'm on OBS at the moment, but I basically just right click on here. You got properties. It should then open when I record. There you go, it did come up. Click on the one you want to look at there. I can go to Camtasia 9 when I'm done, and that will change it over to Camtasia when I'm ready to do so as well. For my actual Football Manager stuff, I use a specific scene for that as well. The only difference being here, well, there's two differences. One, obviously, I don't need to capture the output. It's actually the output that's the audio from the game, not the input. That's mine. I've got it the wrong way around. Still got a video capture and still got and instead of having a Windows capture, I have a game capture instead. So as you can see, I've got Football Manager nicely sat in the background as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. So I record them. I use this button here. That then goes into my video section on my computer. I then select the videos I want to when I'm ready to edit it, and then I go in and do it within there. That's pretty much what I do. So it's quite an easy way to do it, and yeah, it's pretty quick and easy to get videos out of the way by doing that process. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, before I do that, you'll notice I do have an intro/outro webcam, so that's the one I use. As you can see, OBS is really good at just fading things in and out as well, so it's actually got transitions built in. need a haircut, really. But yeah, you can chop and change between it really easily. All you need to do is just make sure that you've got the relevant stuff set up. And the more of these scenes, personally for me, the better, because then you've got other ways that you can do it, and you can actually kind of mix and match in a bit more detail. So if you're doing multiple different channels like I am, I've obviously got both the racing and the Football Manager one, depending on which one you're watching this on at the moment. It's good to have the option to have multiple ones on there as well. I really need to do something a bit more with these ones, but I do have a generic streaming screen if I do other stuff as well, so I've got a bit of flexibility there. But what we'll do is I'm going to go back onto my window capture, go into properties, and I'm going to select Camtasia from that list. So now what you can see in the background is, well, you've got the Camtasia on the screen there, but it's also in the background on the actual preview screen as well. So now what you can see is all of my options in here. Now what I do typically to avoid too much of an overload on my computer that I'm recording on, I tend to actually go into OBS Studios, and if you right click anywhere in the system, there's a button that says performance mode. It's just a way of, it closes down the preview screen because that could take up a lot of CPU usage, so it's always worth having a look at doing that if you are struggling with frame drops like I tend to do, which is why I tend to really scale back the graphics and stuff on Football Manager. Remote play is not an issue because it is a streaming service, so it just puts it straight on, so that's not really an issue. But yeah, with Football Manager, because it directly drains from my CPU, I do tend to put performance mode on because it makes that process a little bit easier. And even if you've got a really, really good PC set behind you, it's always worth having a look at that anyway, because it can be quite a useful little tool to have available. But now that we're into Camtasia, effectively this is the screen you have. Obviously Camtasia is not the only one you have to use. There's plenty of free softwares. Camtasia is not free. There's plenty of options out there if you do want to use something. There's things like OpenShot. There's loads of other options as well. If you just Google free video editing software, you'll find what you're after. It's that simple. It's really easy. But basically, yeah, what I do is I have a template for my videos. I'm going to show you a Football Manager one today. To be honest, the racing stuff is exactly the same. All it is that some of these options, like this group here and this group at the end on the far right hand side, they're just slightly different. That's really the only difference between the two. It's just a different logo, and a different audio clip. But otherwise, the way I edit them is exactly the same. So it does transfer across very easily. So what I do is I start off on this screen, and you see I've got 5 items already in my media bin. I can drag and drop stuff into there. I can import files, click on this little plus button. I can pretty much do whatever I need to do. So I have all of these 5 in here. Again, obviously these 3 will change depending on the channel I'm uploading to. If it's a racing one, obviously I'll have different logos and different sound. For Football Manager, I've got these 3, and this one will obviously change depending on the series I was doing at the time. So at the moment, I'm 20 odd episodes into going into Continental at the moment. So what I do is, start off with these ones. These are already in here. They're already actually in use. So if I right click, I usually, if there's some dead files in here, I get the option to delete media that's not in the timeline at the bottom here. At the moment, because I have already done that, I can't do anything. All I have the option to do is import media from either my computer or from Google Drive. I'm going to go on to import media. I'm going to try and change this across so you can see what I'm doing. So if I change this over in OBS, it's not going to let me, it doesn't look like. Is it going to do it? It's not, unfortunately, which is really annoying. Hold on. One more thing. No, it doesn't want me to show you guys what it looks like, but basically I've just got my computer, my Windows Explorer open. That's what it is. So what I can do is I can then select the files that I want to muck around with. I'm going to go and find the ones from my latest going into Continental episode. I'm going to slide them into there. I've selected all 4 of them, and you'll see in a second, all 4 of them have dropped into my screen. So I have, they're all in date order. So the first one, the earliest one recorded goes at the top, and then so on and so forth. So for Football Manager videos, it's really, really simple because I do them in the order. On some of them, I have done the intro bit afterwards, but it's so obvious which one that one is because it's just me. There's no, as you can see, there's no Football Manager screen in the background. So what I then do is I take the relevant clips and I just slide them into here. So what I do is I can drag and drop my intro screen into here. I always put everything that is going to be going in from a game point of view into track number 1 on Camtasia. Basically, and I'm sure this is the same everywhere else, the lower the track, the further back on the screen it appears. So if I have, so you see I've got something in track 2 over here, that's going to overlay on top of whatever gameplay is showing at the time. Yeah. So yeah, I've got my clip in there. What I can then do is, that's my intro, so that's me just introducing the video. This then here is, as you can see, it's basically just the audio and the logo thing that you've seen before. So what I then do is I then slide that over to here. It matches that. You can see a nice little yellow lines appeared because it's actually snapping to it. So you can see it actually, even when I get close, it just goes, boop, just stops there, which is quite good. Again, it's probably in everything. It's probably not just a Camtasia thing, but very useful in that respect. And then once I've done that one, I can then start to slot in my other clips as well. So I can then go this one. I can do exactly the same. This one's being a little bit fiddly, so let's put it over to track 3 first. Sometimes if there's something a bit further across, it obviously stops it. I think there is on this, because I'm pretty sure this is a very, very long clip. Yeah, so you see it's a 23-minute clip. So if I go all the way along to the end now, there's going to be something sat in track 1 before the end of this clip. There it is, which is stopping me from shifting it down. So if I do that now I can shift that into the one I want. Okay, I'm going to shift that group along in a bit because that's my ending little bit at the moment, so I'll do that in a sec. What I'll then do is I'll then put in the second clip, so I'll put that in there, and then I'll go right to the end of that one, put in my third and final clip, which then brings it to, wow, a 39-minute video, considering I'm pretty sure this is just a standard video. That's a big old boy. And then what I'll do is I'll use this zoom tool just to zoom out a little bit from here, just so that I can find my group. And it just, as you can see here, it just means it's easy for me to move it along more time, a little bit quicker. Otherwise, if I make it really zoomed in, it takes me ages to get from one side to another. Cool. So now I've got all of my clips in the order that I want them in. So we're happy at the moment. Now, at the moment, if I left it as this, basically what it would do is it would just put this on the screen, which would appear. And then that one would actually fade in and fade out, and then this one would just appear, and then all the other ones would just kind of, it would be a picture of me and the screen, and then a different screen, and then a new clip of me. So it doesn't really transition at the moment. There's nothing added in for that. What I do is in Camtasia, I go to my transitions tab at the top here. Now I use these two. I only use fade and fade through black. The other ones in Camtasia, you can see they just look a little bit like kids' PowerPoint sort of thing. You can see them premiering or previewing in the corner there. I just don't think they look very good, in all honesty, whereas the fade does the job nicely. As you can see, it's pretty quick and easy. You can even make it longer and shorter if you want to as well. But for the start and end of my videos, I always fade through black, because again, I just think it looks a bit better. So what I can do is I can drag that from my list of transitions. Can you see at the bottom, you should be able to see at the bottom that it's going with a highlighted bit of yellow at the bottom, at the start and end of each of those clips. So I can actually put them there. Once I do so, this little bluey green kind of like caption-y bit appears on the front of the end of the video. Drop that down. That fade is now in that video. So if we go right back to the start of this one, you'll see it's black. Whereas if it wasn't in there, it wouldn't be. So if I press play now, I appear through a black screen, which is great. I've really got to stop doing it at that point. I'm going to put it over to here because I don't like that clip. There we go, that's a bit better. Because that doesn't give too much away anyway. On all the other ones, I just do a standard fade. So I just pop it in here. As you can see, just do that one. And then the good thing about Camtasia is I can go to the next 2 videos that I have. Where's the end of this one? It's about 20 minutes. I'm going a lot further than I am. There it is. So I can go straight along to there, slap a fade in, and because it does that, you see it actually applies the fade across both clips, which is really helpful. So effectively what you see is this.
It gets to there.
You watch it through. I fade into the new one. Oh, again, just looks a bit slicker. And obviously I can do the same with the last ones as well, and then I fade to black right at the end, which I'm not going to go into because I haven't got enough time. So effectively, that's how I slap them together. Normally, there's going to be less clips than this. You're normally expecting there to be one less and this one to be a hell of a lot shorter. Normally, it's just 3 videos I put together. Obviously, this one is because there's something important in that clip, which I know what it is, but I'm not going to give it away. You have to watch the channel to find that one out. But yeah, I slap them all together, put the fades on either side, and away you go. The only other thing to show you guys is this bad boy here, this little group that I've got. It's effectively a subscribe and a like little pop-up. So if I show you what they look like, Again, if you've watched the videos, you'll know about these anyway, but you see subscribe pops up, clicks on it,
that came at exactly the same time that the other
disappears,
plate came in and were interested in offering me a job as well, because
in a
they sacked
second
their
as
manager.
it appears on the
So
screen
we
there.
could have gone.
So you could see I've put them in. Obviously, you're more than welcome to put them in. You don't have to. It's not by no means a mandatory thing. I'm actually going to shift these back. I've also grouped them together because I like the fact that they appear at the same time rather than me having to edit them together all the time. The most common thing is I find I have to move this more than anything else. This and then the stuff that's already in there, because obviously clips are going to be different lengths. Pretty obvious, I'm sure you agree. So I just slap these in here, I keep them in a group, and they're done. The 10 seconds, which is quite easy to do. To group things together in Camtasia, you do click on one, hold the control button down on your keyboard, click on another, and then right click, and then you should have the option to group them together. So it's quite easy to do that. But yeah, I've put these in here because obviously I put them on track 2 because obviously I want them to appear on top of the clip that I have. If you see now, I put this into track 3 and go to it here. You see there's no subscribe icon there. It's just disappeared. So if I shift it back down again, it would come up. But it's being very picky with me at the moment. Come on. We'll leave it there. It's fine. It's not going to do anything. So, in fact, what I could do, I can just undo it. That's a quick and easy way of doing it. So you can see there, I've slid it back into track 1. Subscribers appeared again. So the higher the track, the further forward it appears on the screen. Now these are the green screen bits that I've got. So it's quite difficult to say exactly what they do looking at them here. I will leave a link to where these were downloaded from in the description of this video if you do want to use some of your own. There's 4 or 5 subscribe animations, and I think there's the 1 like button one, I think. Again, you'll have to have a look and tell me if I'm wrong, but I like the ones I use, it's fine. Effectively, what I do with these is I drag them onto the screen, but you'll see as soon as I do that, it appears in massive green colour, because it's obviously a green screen one, so it's there to allow you to make it a transparent background. Now, the way I get around that is I right-click on the preview screen, which is this bit at the top here, go to Add Visual Effect, and then it says Remove a Colour. On the like button, as you can see, it does it really easily. It's so simple because it just gets rid of it, and then I just resize the window to make it a bit smaller, because having this ginormous thumb up here can probably be a bit scary, I'd imagine. With the subscribe one, it's not that simple for some reason. This might just be on my system rather than anyone else's, but what I do now is I go right click, I add visual effect, I go to remove a color, nothing happens, I don't know why. What I then do is just behind myself, I click on properties, I then go to the color here, select the little drop it thing, I can't for the life of me think of what that's called, click on that, click on the green, there you go, it's got it back to how it was. So now if I carry on with it,
a while since you saw us in game
to then show the subscribe one at the top there. Nice and easy. Yeah, so it's really quick and easy to get rid of those. Like I say, it'll be different on other ones, but that's just the way it works for me, so it's quite clever. And that's pretty much it, guys. What I then do is I then go to share. I can share it directly to YouTube, but for reasons that are easier for me to do, I actually do it straight to a local file, because I have to upload defaults that fill out my descriptions and stuff on YouTube automatically, so I do it to local file, because if you do it directly to YouTube, it doesn't do that. And then what I do is, when I'm ready, I will open up, obviously, Chrome, or other web browsers are available. I'll then go to YouTube. Now, you can't see this yet, because I haven't changed the window capture over, but you'll see it in a minute when it's all loaded up, because I need to get it to do stuff. But what you'll soon see is the home screen for YouTube on my channel, and then I'll just very quickly show you guys how to get into there as well. So if I change window capture properties on OBS, I'm going to select Google Chrome when it's ready to do so. Where is it? There it is. There you go. There's YouTube. Happy days. As you see, I've got a few of my fellow content creators there. You've got JDFM, you've got ABT, does some really good podcasts. As you can see there, you've got Hood Gaming doing his Retro Champions League stuff, FM20, all sorts of people in here. And like I say, if you are getting into it, then there's plenty of places you can get stuck into and really get into in terms of speaking to other content creators, which is what's helped me get to the stage I am. Little soppy note there. But what I do is I go onto this create button here, upload video, and then, yeah, all I then do, I'm not going to go into this any further than this next screen, but you upload the video, download, drag and drop it, whatever you want to do, give it a name, put in your little cards, your little pop-ups that come up in the corner, either schedule it or put it live straight away, which is what I'm going to do with this one. So do whatever you want to do with that. And yeah, away you go. I would always suggest, if you are going to do it, and I've learned this from Leluja's Content Academy videos, link will be there right now, every time, up there right now. Go and have a look at his stuff, because it's really useful, and it gives you a lot more stuff than just what I'm showing you. But it's all about tips and hints to get your channel up and running. Biggest thing is consistency, so schedule your videos on a regular basis, get them the same time, the same days, and try and stick to it. Don't overdo yourself too early. Don't say you'll do 2 videos a day and then after a week you can't do 1 a week, because YouTube's not going to like that, from what I gather. Hopefully you'll see this and I'll have 1,000 and, well, maybe even 50,000 subscribers, and it'd be great, and I'll be able to preach those things. But at the moment it seems to work quite well. I've got very, very steady, decent growth in the first month of these channels, so yeah, it seems to be doing the job. But yeah, put it in there, schedule it, give it a nice looking thumbnail, put your tags on there, get playlists together, get your channel sorted out, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. But yeah, hopefully that was useful. So pop back to me now. So hopefully you found that useful, guys. If you did, then please make sure you hit that like button. Like I say, the algorithms do very much like the like button being clicked. They also like comments going in, so if there's other stuff that you'd like to see me do and show you guys how to use them, please make sure you slap some ideas in there. Maybe it's even setting up a channel, that sort of stuff. Like I say, just let me know. And yeah, subscribe if you are new around here, because there are going to be plenty more either Football Manager or racing videos. Like I said, depends on which channel you're watching this on, because it's gone out on both. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy these one, guys. If you have, do all of those bits I've just mentioned. Hope you have an awesome rest of the day wherever you are. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Cheers.